Chapter 1. The Night the Sky Cracked Open. The night the sky cracked open, Aurenna stood barefoot on a cliff above the Aegean. The salt wind tugged at the hem of her starlit robe. Below her, the sea hurled itself against the rocks, as if trying to remember how to fly. She had come because the Akashic Records were screaming, earthquakes and frequencies only she could hear. For 3 nights, a violet rune had burned itself into the back of her eyelids, the rune of the broken now. A hush fell over the wind. Seraphyx arrived without sound. One moment the sky was empty, the next, obsidian wings eclipsed the moon. His rune-carved scales drank the starlight and returned nothing but the slow pulse of ancient gold, violet gold, scripture. Aurenna stepped forward and rested her forehead against the warm hollow beneath his jaw. "I saw the fracture," she whispered. "It starts in a child's heart and ends with continents forgetting how to love." Seraphyx's violet eyes narrowed to thin crescents. "Then ride, little flame-born. The records will only open while the wound is fresh." She climbed his shoulder the way others crawl into bed after a nightmare, trusting, exhausted, grateful for something ancient and steady. Her palms touched the rune plates between his wings. The sigils flared, recognizing her frequency. A soft click sounded in the air, like the universe locking a door behind them. And they were airborne. They did not fly up. They flew inward. The world folded like origami. Stars became rivers. Rivers became heartbeats. Heartbeats became the frightened pulse of a 10-year-old girl, 42 years in the future, clutching a cracked phone and choosing between the pills or the pain. Seraphyx banked through silver corridors of the Akashic lattice until they hovered above that single trembling moment. His rune cast a circle of violet fire around the girl's timeline. Inside the circle, time slowed to honey. Aurenna stepped from his back and stepped onto nothing. Nothing held her. She knelt in the air beside the girl's bed. "Hey," she said softly, her voice warm as old libraries and late-night campfires. "I've got a dragon outside who thinks you're worth saving the world for. Want to meet him?" The girl looked up. Tears had carved clean tracks through the city dust on her cheeks. "I'm broken," she whispered. Aurenna smiled, the way dawn smiles at the darkest hour. "Broken things let the light in," she said. "Watch." She placed her hand over the girl's heart. Seraphyx lowered his head through the bedroom wall. Impossible, gentle, inevitable, and breathed violet flame. Not fire, memory. The memories wrapped around the pills, dissolved them into golden light, and settled inside the girl's chest like birds returning home. A sound followed, a soft crystalline crack. The fracture sealing, like ice healing on a winter lake. A single obsidian scale drifted into the girl's palm, a promise that would warm whenever she felt alone. Aurenna kissed the top of the child's head. "You just saved every version of us," she whispered. "Thank you." And then the Aegean wind was in her hair again. The moon was whole. She was back on Seraphyx's shoulders, high above the cliff where the night had begun. The dragon rumbled, amused. "First flight complete, rider mine. The records sing your name tonight." Aurenna laughed, clear, wild, unafraid, and pressed her cheek to the rune glowing brightest between his wings. The rune of the mended now. Far below them, 42 years ahead in time, a sunflower taller than a 10-year-old girl turned its face toward the morning sun. And the world quietly, faithfully, began to heal. They flew home through the opening sky, violet flame trailing behind them, like a promise kept.